Hi everyone. Today we have Dylan Ogilvie from Melcor Contracting and Damien McVeigh from Mates in Construction. We're all here today just to chat to you about a challenge we're all doing called Dry Spell 2. We're at the halfway point, and it's something that started on the 8th of May and it runs until the 15th of August. And we're doing 100 days with no alcohol. So I'd like to hand it over to Dylan to tell us a little bit more about the challenge, please.
Thank you. So this is our second year of having a go at this, and we set the original 100 days as a bit of an extended challenge over year 1 month. I think to do a dry July on that, anyone can do, throw 100 days in course, I guess. So calling out this year, and we've had 42 people join us. 38, I would say, get to the halfway point. But I think it goes in line with what Melcor try to promote as a company of, as well as supporting mates and what they do. And I do think, particularly with our guys working in that FIFO environment, it can depressant that takes them down a path that doesn't obviously look after your mental well-being. So with that, yeah, we've had 42 people. We're at the halfway mark this year. We're raising some good money for mates. Ties back in with what Damien will say about Mates in Construction. The money is, I mean, in the space of 2 weeks, I'm aware of 2 guys that has used Mates in Construction service and was at a pretty low ebb that have now come out the other side in the space. And I think just even that awareness of being able to the services that are there, the phone contacts and stuff like that, like that's reset 2 blokes' lives that potentially wouldn't have been there a little bit ago. So the fact that those conversations are being had, and that it really does strike home, days off the beers and raise some money, and that awareness for the guys is a pretty important thing. So we are hoping this will continue on and it becomes a yearly thing, and at some point we're at dry spell 10, 11, 12, whatever it works out to be. So hopefully from this year, if you see that you've pretty much increased your numbers up to 40 odd. If we can get to 100 next year and the tentacles go out, the whole message goes out a bit quicker and the fundraising becomes easier. So getting everyone's nan to donate $20 is a lot easier to then getting my boss to donate $5,000. So
good on you.
So far, so good.
Yeah, that's it. That's good stuff. And then, Damien, would you like to tell us then? So obviously, we're all fundraising for the benefit of Mates in Construction. So would you like to tell us a little bit more then, and our followers then, about Mates?
Yep, cool. We are a suicide prevention charity within the construction industry. The likes of Dylan and Melcor have been massive champions for Mates for quite a few years. We rely heavily on funding and donations from industry support, like Melcor, like Powerway. That's how we keep our head above water. So we've just got new figures through last week. So in the last 12 months, our 2 case managers here in Western Australia, they got 221 clients through the door. So 25% of those people who came through our door were at imminent risk. So a quarter of those, so what's that, 50, 60 people were at imminent risk. So they were, in the last 12 months, our case managers had to go out to people's houses, actually disarm the means how those people actually were going to take their lives. And in the last week, as Dylan just said, Dylan was an absolute champion. He sent through 2 people who were in a pretty bad way to get further support with us, and they've now engaged with Mates Construction, and they're on their journey. So this type of funding, these types of initiatives is massive for us. That's how we keep our head above water. That's how we can engage with those 221 people, and that's how we can keep the people alive. But it's a 100-day challenge, and you can talk about it's went into 100 days off the booze. So people kind of know it is an industry where you don't mind the beer, you enjoy a beer, and at the end of a hard day, sucking on half a dozen stubbies is okay. But trying to promote that mental health and even just create that awareness, get the brand out there, and letting people know that the genie at the bottom of the Jim Beam bottle isn't going to fix it. By having positive communications, positive conversations about mental health, can have a positive impact within our industry. So this type of thing is getting our brand out there, but getting the conversation started amongst the workers and the industry.
Excellent. No, it's great work, guys, both of you, for an amazing initiative. And just for anybody that's watching the video, I'll pop the link for the fundraising in there, and it would be amazing if you could help us out and raise some money for this great challenge. Damo, do you want to just let us know if some people are obviously not in a great space, what can they do to reach out?
So we wear a few different hats. We work in prevention, intervention, and postvention. The prevention is getting out onto job sites, organizations, getting our brand, getting our logo out there, letting people know there is support out there, the people who actually really care about people within the industry and their loved ones. But we also offer a training program. Dylan has sat through these 3 stages of our program. So Dylan actually has the skills to intervene in a suicide. So the first stage is a 45-minute session where I give people awareness, let them know that there is a problem within our industry, what they can do about it. And the next stage is having a go-to people within your company and your organization, where we train that person how to ask about suicide, keep the person safe by getting them into help. And the last, Dylan has done this one, the 2-day, it's called ASSIST, which stands for Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training. That's suicide intervention. So that's where we train the group how to do a full-blown suicide intervention. So that's kind of the practical side of things, what we do. But we also offer a 24-hour support service and case management service. Is manned by a representative of Mates Construction at all times. It doesn't matter if you ring at stupid o'clock on a Saturday night, there's a trained counsellor on that phone to have a conversation with you to keep you safe while getting you into that necessary help. Your information will get passed through to our 2 case managers. If you're from Western Australia, they get passed through to WA. We're in every state across Australia that we can help and support people. Our 2 case managers in Perth both have degrees in psychology. One is Liam, one is Peter. They will actually sit with the person and what's going on in their lives and get them into that necessary support. Western Australia is fantastic for the help and support that is got out there. But how do you get to that help if you're flat out getting through the day? Mm-hmm. Our case managers will do all that legwork for you. They will get you the help. They will make sure you're getting to those appointments. They will check in from you from time to time. So they do all the hard work for you. It's a free confidential service. We pride ourselves on our confidentiality as well. We will not break that unless there's imminent risk. We're not stupid as well. We know what happens at work, you're taking that home with you, and what happens at home, you're taking that back into work. So our service is also for the loved ones as well, because that has an impact on them as well. So all we deal with is construction workers and their loved ones day in and day out. So those 221 people who we just spoke about, that is from boots on the ground right up to managing directors, executive managers, and their loved ones. All right, it's for everybody. The phone number is 1300 642 111. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it's strictly confidential. There's no report coming back to your leaders, your managers, saying that you've engaged with us. It is strictly confidential, and we pride ourselves on that. So I would say if you are struggling, it takes a lot of courage to put your hand up and ask for help. But if you're worried about someone as well, and you've got a gut feeling something isn't right, it takes a lot of courage to build someone up and ask them how you're traveling, what's going on. So yeah, don't be afraid to do it. There's people out there who will support you, and yeah, we're one of the organisations that's out there. So get involved. That number is for the industry and its loved ones. It's their number, so please use it.
Good man.
I guess one of the things that we've seen as well with that Damo, as the training gets through, and the training can be, I've sat through the GAT training half a dozen times, I think, and every time you take something different out of it, you do it with a different side, you out of it differently. So what it's encouraged people to do, I guess, is to take the stigma away and to understand that you're not, by asking for help, you're not letting yourself down. You're not doing it. You're actually helping it's definitely a change, and particularly in the construction industry, it's just getting more and more accepted. And you know, I guess an older generation of guys are more coming to it and going, wish I knew this 20 years ago. So it's been small steps and that, but it definitely, I can see myself, as the more of that gap and the more of the awareness gets out there and ways by doing this, by getting industry-based, industry-owned, it takes that stigma away of guys wanting to talk and people don't. And you can see guys' shoulders lift the minute that they're aware and comfortable to talk to someone like Mates in Construction. So it's moving in the right direction.
Just on that point, what Dylan said, it's not unusual to do our training more than once in your lifetime. Yeah. As Dylan said, he's done it half a dozen times. It's just like a normal site induction. I was doing a training session before Christmas, and this real hairy-ass concreter, real rough concreter came up at the end of the session, and he goes, Damo, this is my third time in 6 months doing this training session. I go, oh, apologies about that. He had moved from project to project. He goes, no, don't apologize. He said, the first time it was water off a duck's back. Suicide isn't in my life. It doesn't impact me. I came here for a 45-minute spell. I'm getting free pen out of it. You beauty. He said the second time I paid a little bit more attention because I was actually worried, and I got him linked into your case management. And he said, now this time I can't hide from it anymore. I need your help. Please give me your help. And we'll link them into our case management. So in the space of 6 months, 3 different attitudes going into those sessions.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, really, I think a lot of people want to brush it off thinking they don't need help. That's the problem. It's the man thing, thinking, no, I don't need the help. So.
And that's what it is. And that's what, and as Dylan says, we're trying to create that awareness and let people know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to put your hand up and ask and offer help.
Guys, you're very inspiring. Thanks very much for that. So, really appreciate it.
All our followers are on our Facebook page. We're going to put up this link. I think we have nearly 1,200 people. If everyone gives $1 or $2, it doesn't take much, you know. So we're not asking for much, guys. Every bit helps. It's come for a good cause. And keep it up, Damo.
Yeah.
Dylan as well. Keep it up, boys.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. You're in the, like I said, it's downhill skiing from here.
Yeah, that's it. We look forward to the end of August.
And if anybody wants to take a laugh over the next couple of weeks, I'm heading up to 10 kilometers towards my 1,000 kilometers. So you want to come up and have a laugh? You can drink your bottles of water, so you can.
Carbon zeros, mate.
Yeah.
Good work, guys. Thanks for that.
Thanks, guys.
No.